Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, master's in counseling psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, hypnotherapist, and yogi. We have just passed through the Lionsgate of 8/8 on August 8th. We are at crossroads bridging past and future. Tune into this episode where I will lead you in a journey to your future self or fifth dimensional self. Welcome to the episode on future self progression, accessing your fifth dimensional self. We just passed through the Lionsgate of 8/8 on August 8th, 2022. We are at a crossroads bridging past and future. I recently led a Lionsgate workshop in which I shared a journey to the future self or fifth dimensional self. It was so powerful that all the attendees had a very nice experience in accessing their future self. So that inspired me to share it with you, my listeners. So first of all, I want to talk about what is fifth dimensional consciousness. I did a podcast on that earlier. I suggest you go check out the fifth dimensional consciousness podcast previously recorded. But just to remind you that we are in this time where we're bridging the past, present, and future. And so we're creating new realities for ourselves, and we're creating them from the heart center, from how we feel. And one of the real ways that we can gauge this is how we feel in our bodies and how the heart feels. Does this make me feel good and happy and bring me to a higher emotional set point, like joy, happiness, hope, optimism? Or does it bring me down into hopelessness, depression, or sadness, grief? So we have to look now as we go forward. Are we acting out of a elevated emotional sense of our reality, or are we operating out of a despairing, fearful sense? And if you look around at the mainstream media, there's a lot of fear-mongering going on as we hear of the next natural disaster or the next monkeypox being trotted out or variant of COVID or any other source that could induce worry, anxiety, and fear. And so our work in evolving as humans right now is to release the fear and come into a place of peaceful self-awareness, knowing that all is well and all will be well, as long as we don't let our mind go down these pathways of fear and worry. So that being said, we can connect to this aspect of ourself, the fifth dimensional self that's vibrating through the heart center and being guided by the soul and the heart, or even what we call our future self, how we will be in our life a few years down the line if we follow the guidance of the heart. So I want to remind listeners that there are some ways that you can activate and access your fifth dimensional consciousness, which will allow you to be in the flow of your life and receive exactly what you need when you need it. First of all, we must let go of the past, which means that you actually have to do some inner healing, whether it's through psychotherapy or other forms of psychological healing, shadow work, allowing the emotional body to come into equanimity. Don't get hung up on past misgivings or would've, should've, could've's. Release grudges towards other people and situations. Understand that whatever life has brought you thus far has taught lessons and has brought in life initiations that have built character and cleared karmas. Another way to get to this place of inner peace and releasing lower emotional feelings such as anger, grief, resentment, and worry and anxiety is by shifting into an attitude of gratitude or having an appreciation of what life has brought you thus far and what life still has to offer. A daily practice of gratitude and thankfulness does wonders in accessing the higher dimensions, including fifth dimensional consciousness. Also, come from compassion, no judgment of self and others. We are all doing the best we can with what we have been given. This tends to be a big complaint with some of my clients, is that they are noticing that self-critical voice that is judging and gauging how they're doing in life and can create depression in a lot of people. And a lot of times that voice is from an inner parent, something that they've internalized that came from a parent. So when we start having compassion for ourselves and all ourselves, the younger selves, the current self, and even our future self, we can get beyond the space and time and heal this critical or self-judging and come from a place of compassion connected to heart awareness, coming from the heart and extending compassion to yourself and others goes a long way in breaking free of negative thoughts about yourself or others. It's also powerful to perform spiritual disciplines to connect with our fifth dimensional consciousness, such as meditating, praying, chanting, or doing some spiritual practice every day as a routine at the same time every day, if you can, for instance, at sunrise or sunset, which are powerful times called sandhya in Sanskrit, the best times to meditate or do spiritual practices, because the flow of the energies through the Sushumna Nadi, the spinal energy channel, goes upward during sunrise and sunset. Therefore, there are great benefits from meditation, breath work, and other yogic practices at Sanyakala or sunset sunrise. And in your own way, find a way to connect to Source, to God, to the divine every day on a consistent basis to raise your consciousness. Pursuing health disciplines for the physical body is another way to feel very good and to raise your vibration to a higher dimension. And again, you're taking care of that future self. What we do now in the present is taking care of ourself in the future. And I actually do this really kind of fun practice. I'll do certain practices sometimes myself with the awareness that I'm actually doing it for my future self, that my future self, meaning myself later that day or later in the week, will be happy that I did that. Simple things like making sure there's enough fresh water to drink or filling up my tank of gas, knowing that when my future self is running around busy seeing clients and teaching workshops, I won't have the time to fill that tank of gas. So I'll be happy that my past self of a couple days ago did. So these are little things we can do to take care of ourselves. And when we do it with the consciousness, oh, my future self will be happy that I filled up that tank of gas, it goes a long way to feeling more peaceful in your life because you won't have the stress of running around trying to get gas. So anyway, we can do these things in our day-to-day life, and we can do them for short term or long term, taking care of that future self. And this includes any health disciplines. Remember, we are what we eat or take into our body. So eating a pure, healthy diet, as Buddha would say, everything in moderation, exercising, being out in nature, being in fresh air, moving your body helps that present body and actually will be appreciated from the future self when they're living a healthier life. Connecting to nature is very important to accessing fifth dimensional consciousness. Being in nature and noticing the beauty and wonder of nature and being in the natural world automatically shifts our vibration and aligns us to higher energies of light and healing. And one of the practices I like to do, I live by the ocean, so I have the luxury of walking a beach every day if the weather allows. And so I like to walk the beach right where the water and sand meet, because I've noticed there is a high electromagnetic charge, and it turns out it's from the negative ions that are coming off the water. That's why when we're by the ocean, we can automatically feel so much better. Those negative ions come off the ocean. So when we're in nature, there's a lot of benefits from these natural effects of being outside, whether it's by the ocean or you're walking in woods with a lot of trees. You're getting all that extra oxygenation from the plants. So start thinking like that to take care of your body and to take care of your mind and spirit. And again, your future self will appreciate it. When I come back, I'll lead you on the journey to connect to your future self or fifth dimensional self. So stay tuned. Welcome to the part of the episode when I lead you into a future self progression. So, you want to make sure that you're in a relaxed, peaceful place for the next 15 minutes so you can take this journey of future self progression. So, I invite you to find a comfortable place where you can lay down or you can sit quietly undisturbed for about the next 15 minutes. I'm going to ask you now, in your own natural way, just as you've done many times in the past, to become aware of your body, resting or sitting here as it is. And it's good to know now that your body has a habit from many times in the past to be soft and relaxed. Every cell and every part of your body can remember what it's like to be soft and comfortable. And because you're feeling now in some way soft and easy, you can become aware now of a particular place in your body which needs some healing. And it's easy for you to become aware of that place in your body where you can send some healing. Take a breath now into that place in your body. And as you breathe out, just allowing that place to soften a little bit. So breathing into that part of the body. And as you breathe out, just allowing that place to soften a little bit. With each gentle breath now, focusing the breath on that place. And as you breathe out, allowing that place to let go, become soft, and that's good. And now just letting the breath continue on its own. Breathing into the whole body and just letting go. Allowing your body to soften. And now, because you're feeling so soft and relaxed, you can just go deeper into this sense of peaceful well-being as your breath continues to flow. And because you're so soft and relaxed, it's easy to find yourself standing at the top of a flight of stairs. 10 stairs going down, going deeper inside. And as you begin to step down each stair, going down, coming to the first step, 10, just letting go. 9, going down the stairs, going deeper inside. 8, 7, 6, deeper down. 5, 4, 3, 2, down the stairs, deeper to a natural place. 1. It's easy to find yourself now standing in front of a door. Standing in front of a door, which when you open, you'll be in a place where you can meet your future self. So opening that door in a moment. And as you open the door now, you can step into something that feels very comforting to you. Opening the door and stepping into a place. And as you step into this place, perhaps it's a place where you live in your future. Perhaps you're outside somewhere in nature. When you step into the place, there's something like a magnetism, an energy that feels so good and so inviting. And you become aware of another being here. You become aware of another being. And you noticed that from this calm and centered place, you're seeing yourself a few years in the future. You notice some small changes in your appearance. The changes are for the better. You notice that you're smiling. This future self is smiling back at you. You look wiser, more joyful, more free. You seem to be lighter and happier and have released any burdens. You see that future self smiling at you, drawing you into a warm, safe energy. You feel so comforted, so at peace, so happy in the presence of this future self. Now imagine your future self is speaking to you. What would that future self say? Perhaps your future self is reminding you to let the small things go. Perhaps your future self is assuring you that even in the hard moments, it will all be okay. If you're working through something in your present life, your future self is assuring you that it all works out. That future self has already come out on the other side and has words of assurance and comfort for you. And there's so much your future self wants to share. Spend some time now in this space, even maybe noticing the surroundings, noticing that the abode where your future self dwells is very healing and comforting. Maybe it has a beautiful view, noticing that you feel so good here as you are in the presence of this future self who is wise and comforting to you. Spend some time here with your future self, feeling the care pouring forth through the conversation in both directions, feeling your future self giving you comfort, guidance, and transmitting some healing to you. And now that you've had this healing exchange with your future self, you can thank them and receive a hug, feeling that wise older self merging into you. Feel all that love, all that healing. Feeling the energetic exchange lifting you up and boosting you. Breathe into this. Perhaps even seeing light, seeing different colors as you feel the merging with your future self. Feeling your own energy enhanced and elevated. Letting the image of your future self go as you are now merged. And begin noticing your breath, perhaps bringing healing breath into the navel center. Noticing the breath filling up your body, becoming aware of your body. And in a moment, I'm going to count back up from 1 to 10. And when I get to 10, you'll return fully awake, relaxed, refreshed, able to remember what's transpired, and knowing you can return to this place whenever appropriate. Getting ready to come back now. 1, 2, bringing all this energy back. 3, 4, 5, 6, feeling your body. 7, maybe moving your hands and fingers. 8, moving your feet and toes. 9, perceiving yourself in your room, in this body. And 10, gently opening your eyes and staring at a point in the ceiling, letting all the energy settle. Taking a couple deep, clearing breaths, inhaling through the nose. And just let out a sigh. Do that 2 more times. And welcome back. If you have a journal or your cell phone nearby, you can speak into voice memos and record what happened or write it down. Knowing you can take this journey as often as necessary to connect with that future self as an inner guide who will help you move through your life. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, featuring a future life progression. Make sure you download, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending healing vibrations into the future through the quantum field.